Hello!
Hi!
I'm John.
I'm Michelle.
And we are from the Sake Notes.
The Sake Notes!
Again!
Yeah, you've seen us. Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Now you're seeing us on YouTube.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tonight, we're actually going to be talking about glasses. You see, people say you're supposed to drink wine out of certain kinds of glasses for certain kinds of wines. You're supposed to have beers out of certain kinds of glasses for
I've
certain...
definitely heard the beer glasses argument before.
I've heard the wine one, definitely.
Really? I just thought there were... You know what? See, I always thought that the wine glasses were just more amounts of wine. I never actually really considered that. Now that you mention it, I guess that is why they have different
It's about
sizes.
shape, not just the size.
See, I just thought it was just how, you don't want to have to refill it that much.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought that. That's kind of embarrassing. But
Michelle thought that her wine glass journey ended when she found a wine glass that could fit an entire bottle of wine in it.
we do have one of those.
We do. We're not going to show you that, though, because that's not what we're here doing.
When I was searching for wine glasses, my goal was to find something that I could eat cereal out of.
You succeeded.
But I have heard the beer glass argument before. I've definitely seen your classic, kind of like a trapezoid shape. I have a pale ale glass that's kind of thin with like a bulb in the center. I've seen, I don't know a lot about beer, but there's one that has just a kind of bulb at the top. And maybe you're familiar with this with different pubs that you go to. And when you order, beer is a lot more common. You might have seen those glasses. So the same issue with sake.
Yeah, so a bunch of guys in Tokyo at Kimoto Glass got together and were like, wait a minute. The shape of a glass can really impact the flavor of a sake. So let's do that. Let's make glasses specifically for sake. And tonight we have our hands on a couple of them. And we also have our hands on a regular, this is the most ordinary looking little cup I can find in our apartment. So that's what we're using. And we're going to be tasting this Nanbu Bijin Shinpaku, like I said earlier. It's a Junmai Daiginjo, milled to 50%, and it uses Yamada Nishiki rice. You guys may be noticing a pattern with me a little bit with this. So the idea here is we're going to pour it into each of these glasses, and then we're going to taste it, and we're going to talk about kind of what we notice, what we don't notice, how things change in between each of the glasses. And of course, if you're interested in getting these Kimoto glasses, I will have some information in the show notes about where you can obtain them.
I do have a immediate question.
What's that?
My first one is that these are obviously different sizes.
Yes.
And I mean, not being as familiar with these glasses as you probably are, I can probably assume there's some sort of like smell and like aroma that's being caught in the top of these glasses. But do you pour the same amount in each? Like, are you going for 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce? Or like, how do you decide how much to pour?
In this particular case, I did a purely aesthetic. I poured it to the bulb. And that may not be the right way to do it.
You know, it would make sense to me that you would do it that way.
I did it for aesthetic purposes. But yeah, I mean, they are different sizes, and the shapes are similar, although the proportions are very different. It's hard to tell, I think, from here, but there's definitely different proportions going on. So this is our regular, this is like a tiny pint glass, I think. We got this at a beer tasting event.
Yeah, it's
at
actually
Central
a tasting
Park.
glass.
Yeah, and...
But a very nondescript, simple, I guess it's not leading you into anything, it's just...
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this glass is that my nose gets in there very easily because it's very wide mouth and I have a big nose, so that works out.
Wait, should we read the description of what this is supposed to taste like before we mess everything up? Well, we are very familiar with Nanbu Bijin. It's super popular in New York, very easy to come by, very well priced, great flavor, so we are super familiar with this one.
Yeah.
The official flavor profile is slightly dry and full-bodied. So more dry than sweet and more full than light.
That's interesting.
It is +4, which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
And it is 16% alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
Very wine standard.
Yeah. Well, wine's a lot less. But anyway.
Maybe the wines you drink.
This is true. So I'm able to get the nose because my whole nose literally goes in the glass, and I mean I'm kind of getting it all in my face at once, and then the taste is pretty subtle, a little on the drier side, but with some fruitiness to it.
Yeah, you can smell it, but it's very faint, and definitely get the fruitiness.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe a little vanilla. I'm still getting a little sweetness, a little vanilla to it. Definitely drier on the end, round. I would say this automatically reminds me of like something I would have with dinner. Maybe because we do have it with dinner. But if it's offered
we might have been
dinner,
trained that way.
Might have been trained that way, but if it's offered that way, it must be a good idea for sure.
Right. And then first we have this smallest one here. And first thing I notice when I bring this to my nose, I'm not really getting much of the aromatic quality of the sake. And I know that the sake does smell really good, but I'm not really getting a lot of it from this particular cup. But I am getting a lot of flavor. It just tastes like more than what we had previously. It's just kind of more in your face. It's more like compressed, I guess. I mean, it's more like all at once. It's very interesting.
That makes sense.
Yeah, why don't you give it a shot?
Should I switch to this one?
Well, no, why don't you try that one?
Immediately, the smell is just so, like you said, more. You could just, the smell is much more in your face. Whereas here it's faint and you're kind of looking for that scent, but here it's just bringing it right up to your face. You can immediately smell it. Although I do think it does smell a little drier here than it did in that one.
I didn't get as much of the scent here, but it might just be because my nose wasn't in there as much.
It's so weird, but it just back-to-back same sake. I think it's lighter flavor here. It's more delicate, I think, in this glass. The smell is a lot stronger and a lot drier, like I said, but the flavor is just much lighter. Like I think if I had it in a glass like this, I would be worried about food possibly overpowering it. Whereas here, it kind of felt just very medium, like you could really...
Kind of neutral?
Yeah, very neutral. But here, it definitely seems like, oh, that could be a possibility of the sake getting lost. Maybe more with fish, something just light, like, like a sashimi or something.
And for this one, I'm getting a little bit more nose. And it's a much rounder flavor to me. It's much more like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm getting a little bit more umami. It's just very it's a little bit more intense on the flavor.
I think the smell for this one, again, still stronger than this, which makes sense when you think about it, that the scent is being funneled into a much smaller area. But I think compared to this one, I want to say a little sweeter now. Like I'm smelling different notes with
let me do what you just did. That
air.
seems like it'd be fun.
Yeah. Do you want to refill it up back to the bowl?
I mean,
to make sure
this has a lot less in it right now, but I definitely feel that there's definitely more aroma coming out of here compared to this one when I do them back to back.
It's almost like a magic trick.
I mean, and it's probably a result of just like my nose can get more of the surface of the.
I'm sure that's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. It really does taste like different sakes. It's really weird.
So this one it goes in a bit here, whereas this one, not really so much. So I wonder if that's kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one tastes sweeter too. Maybe it's because I can smell the sweet notes more that it makes it taste more sweet on this one, but.
Well, smell and taste are really closely intertwined, so I could definitely see that being a thing.
Which is why these glasses are so important.
Yeah.
I think this one is creamier, a bitter end, I would say, but sweetness overall. And maybe that's the fruitiness that I mistake for sweetness.
We both do that.
Yeah.
And that
And
one
then
is the last
this
one,
one,
the big guy.
the
This one's
big
pretty
one.
big.
It's actually a little more, it's similar to this one, but if you can see, this one has a more severe
Yeah, it tapers in a lot more.
inner, yeah,
at the top.
whereas this one still has a taper, but it's shorter. It's not as severe, but you have a lot more.
Right. And also, it's a very wide top, too, so I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how that's going to change things.
I'm getting kind of it's hard to smell actually. I'm a little bit surprised about that because I assumed, but since there was so much more air here that the smell can congregate in, that it would be even more. But it's lost a little bit. I think this one is a smaller. It's funneled smaller, so it's right there. It doesn't escape as easily. But this one, I'm getting. I think it's caramely.
That's interesting.
And actually a very almost bitter taste to it. Like I
Bitter?
don't think I would want to drink Shinpaku out of this glass.
Really?
It
So you think
almost,
this would be better for like a, like your favorite, like the Naruto-tai, like kind of like the bolder taste, or
I'm not
maybe
really-
something more delicate? Because this is somewhere in the middle, I would say.
So, well, here you can taste it and see if you are getting the same thing as me.
Aroma-wise, I'm getting more of an alcohol smell.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say this glass makes it taste like if you ever get a bad pairing with sake, where sake can really take on the flavor of whatever you're eating, and sometimes what you're eating and the sake you're drinking does not go together, and all you can taste is just an alcohol taste. Even if the sake is beautiful and fruity and flavorful, bold, light, sweet, you can just taste the alcohol, and this tastes like a bad pairing to me.
It might be. Just as in with wines and with beers, there are specific certain types of specialized glasses. Yeah, this does not. I don't think this goes with this particular bottle very well. I definitely, like, if I had to, like, having my choice, like, I really liked how it tasted coming out of here, where it was, more on the nose, and then the flavor was. I feel like I was experiencing all of the different flavors that go with a tasting of this particular Nanbu Bijin. Whereas this one, yeah, it's like a little. Yeah, I'm not really getting the subtleties to it. It's just too. I think it's such a wide mouth. It's going all over your mouth at the same time, and it's not getting to be as subtle and delicate as it is.
The difference between what we're using as a neutral glass and this one, I think everything is very light. There's nothing kind of comes out. It's all just very wishy-washy. It's just very plain. This one, I think, does have strong flavors, but it's the wrong flavors coming through. It's not the parts that you would want, whereas I would say this one has those sweet notes coming through. And this one was dry, right? This one made it taste a little dry.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing what glasses do.
It's similar notes to this one, but more rounded. It's more palatable here. I think that these two have a similar mouth opening versus these two, which is smaller, and I think that can contribute to it. But this one is a lot shorter, so maybe it's that extra airspace that loses the flavor for this particular sake. It depends on what you're drinking.
It really does. I think that maybe like this is not, this is the middle of the road. It's very as far as like your flavor intensity goes. It's not bold in your face, and it's not really light and weak. It's like somewhere in the middle, and it has a really good balance to it. That's what I tend to enjoy, and I do think that I'm really getting the most out of this glass with it, much more than the other three. And yeah, this guy's just a little too much for this one.
It just tastes like a bad pairing.
Yeah. And what do you think for something this this robust? Because it looks like with this, it's going to intensify the flavor. All different aspects of it at once. So like, is that something you would want to have like a super light sake with, maybe, or maybe something really, heavy, like a bold Junmai or a Kimoto. It's hard to say. We might do more experiments.
Would want to try a different style of sake in these same glasses in the same order, so that I can understand better what part of the flavor profile is being lost or gained in each glass, because I don't really understand what part of the flavor profile is being lost or amplified in this glass for this one, because this one is very middle of the road. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe if I had to guess something stronger, it would get lighter, but I don't know.
It's hard to say.
And that is sake for you. Like you, this is so technical and so serious, and it's just interesting that you can have your same favorite sake that you have, wherever you go. It's just trusty on the menu always. But this is a new way to experience that sake that you already love. But if you are new to sake, or you are unfamiliar, or you're intimidated by it, it doesn't matter. It's like, don't worry about it. Put it in a wine glass. Put it in your tasting beer glass from that time you went to the zoo. Like, it's gonna be fine. And most sakes are sold, if you buy like a single glass for a single serving, they're sold in this, which again is a very neutral shaped glass. So it's not anything you have to worry about if you're new. You should just try it and enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, this is the talking about specific glasses like we did tonight is kind of like a little advanced course, I think, and it's more reflective of where we are and what kind of our curiosities.
It's just an interesting way to experience same old. It makes it fresh and exciting again.
But yeah, definitely, and yeah, I think that if you're having a sake and you're not so sure about if it really fits you, try a different glass. You might have a totally different experience. In addition, obviously try it with different food. There's, like wine, sake and food have a very complex relationship, and you can have, wildly different experiences with them by pairing them differently.
And that's just something that you're going to learn over time. I think that you should try your sake for the first time if you're new to it, just by itself. Just kind of, get a taste of it first before you eat the food, just so you understand what it tastes like.
It's amazing how much lighter it's out of here.
It's so crazy.
It's so great. Yeah, I think that what you're saying is absolutely right. And for just trying new sakes at home, you can never go wrong with a wine glass. Never. You're always gonna have a good time with the wine glass. It is like it's the go-to. I think when you get something new, try it with the wine glass. Yeah. Great. Well, that is our little segment on the Kimoto glasses. These are made in Tokyo by a company from there and are available in the U.S. now.
We'll have the info in the information below.
Yep. And then YouTube, also in the show notes and all the information.
Just everywhere. Just
like, comment, and subscribe. That's what they say, right?
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for visiting again. And
we have lots of fun stuff coming up. So if you do have questions, let us know. We'll add them in. And if not, just keep watching. You might find something that you didn't know that you wanted to know.
Yep. I hope that you guys enjoy watching us as much as we enjoy doing this for you. Have a wonderful night and enjoy your sake.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.